So hi, one of the Good Nights podcast here with Al from Ascent Like Wolves. We're gonna ask him some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired the creation of the band, and what does the band name mean?
Well, to the band, just something to do, I guess. Growing up around like this really strange country farm area, me and the other guitarist Jeff, we're pretty much from the middle of nowhere, and probably we're some of the only people really listening to rock music or metal music in our high school at the time. Granted, this was like 2005 to 10 or something while we were like growing up in high school and stuff. But most people out this way listen to country,
Oh,
and we had like bring your tractor to high school day every
that's a
year. Like you
thing?
like it was really a thing. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it's just really strange that we really sort of came out of this sort of area like that. But um, yeah, we were just sort of talking about making crazy, stupid breakdowns and whatnot back then, just being inspired by bands like Attack Attack and The Devil Wears Prada, and, all those like those scene core bands.
Banger,
Um,
such good bands.
so we yeah, so we formed a band for a talent show, and we played two songs. And it's funny because I was just talking to Shane Told about this, but I forgot to tell him this part. One of the songs we covered was a Silverstein song, "Smile in Your Sleep,"
Mm.
Also good.
and the other song was a Used song. And
Which you
yeah,
song though?
shortly after that, it's from the first album. It's called "Say Days Ago."
Also good. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good. um, but yeah, I think shortly after we did that talent show, we sort of formed this band, and we didn't have a name for it yet.
Mhm.
So our drummer at the time, his name was Derek. He was just really texting me on like my shitty Motorola Razor phone that I had at the time.
Yeah.
At the time, it was a decent phone. Don't get me
Of course,
wrong,
yeah.
but still a bad phone. But
Yeah.
if you drop that baby, it was done for.
It's
That
shattered,
was it.
yeah.
Um, but he was really on me about coming up with a band name, and at the time I used to live with my grandma, and I was like so baked, just sitting on the couch in the living room, just watching
Uh-huh.
this movie. And this movie is called Ninja Assassin. And while he texted me that, he's like, "Yeah, dude, like we really need to come up with a band name before next time we have practice." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, man, like we'll figure it out."
Mhm.
And I looked up at this movie part, and the two main characters are talking to each other, and they're moving in a car, and she says they're following our scent like dogs, and the other character goes, "No, like wolves." So I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, what about a scent like wolves?" He was like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool." So that's pretty much what happened.
Okay.
Wow. Iconic. Wait, so you brought up the bring a tractor to school day. Did people actually bring their tractors?
Yeah, it was really annoying to drive there if you actually had a license to drive at the time, because you'd be behind like 50 of them or something like that on your way there.
Oh my God.
So
Wait, they drive them to school.
they drove them. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I
I think it was like more of like a warmer month of the year, maybe like April or May or something.
yeah.
But it definitely happened every year. And yeah, I don't know, for some reason people were crazy, they were wild about it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are from, but we're from like Amish country, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
mhm,
Lancaster.
All right. Yeah, I'm
mhm.
I'm in New
Yeah, but
Jersey,
yeah.
so
And I'm in Virginia.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm more upset about New Jersey and those I know.
Okay.
As a Pennsylvania, not no, I'm just joking.
Mhm.
You guys have White Castle, so
I've
Exactly.
never had. Oh, yeah, lucky dude. Lucky. Anyways, back to your music. Um, Congratulations on your newest release, Mystic Aura. How do you
thank
felt the
you.
response to it so far? Of course, yeah.
Uh, Response was a lot better than I initially thought that it was
Mhm.
going to be. And I think just because we haven't really released music for a couple of years, newer music, um, just didn't really think people would care about it, to be honest with you. But um, yeah, I don't know. We just put like a lot of effort and time and money into it, to sort of like, I guess, in case it's success like that. And yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well. I've had so many people reach out to me about it and say wonderful things, which is nice to hear. About your art like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing but positive feedback, which has been great.
Well, that's good.
I'm very happy to hear that.
I very much enjoyed it when I listened to it, so, and I know Glory
too.
did as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
did. Yeah.
So there were 4 features on the album. I want to ask how those came about.
So I mean, it's kind of weird when we do these things. So sometimes we talk about that stuff beforehand, and other times we don't. Because when we write these songs, sometimes we just don't really sort of prepare for that, or like we have that in our mind, like, oh, we're gonna get so and so on this song. But I feel like for some of them, this time we did, especially like JT's part. I think we intentionally left that spot open for him.
Mhm.
Before we even knew before asking him. Same thing with the Buka song. Didn't ask her first, but me and Blake were talking about having her on the song like half a year before that. And it's strange how those things kind of work out that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just sort of reached out to them, and we're more or less like acquaintances with both of them beforehand. And yeah, they both like the songs, and they said yes. Matteo, we've been friends for we were friends for like 6 months before I asked him to be on that song. And he was all about it. We played a show with Novelists in Philadelphia like 3 or 4 months beforehand. And I brought him a bunch of medicine because he was sick on tour. So we've been sort of just been homies ever since.
Mhm.
Who else was on there? Oh, Brian. Yeah, Brian from Currents. We're always hanging out with the Currents dudes.
Okay.
So yeah, that was kind of a no brainer. But we were actually supposed to get Ken from Crossfaith on that song, and the timeline really wasn't working out, and we sort of just had to turn the record in.
Mhm.
Like we were really pushing it
Down
honestly.
to the wire.
Yeah, literally. Like, oh, what are you guys gonna turn this album in? We're like, I don't know. We're still working on it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you've been
feel
working
like
on it for like 2 years. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you guys been working on it for a while. It's like, yeah, I know we have been, but do you want it to sound bad, or do you want it to sound good?
Gotta make it perfect.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. What was sort of the rush, and I think that was kind of our notion this time, was just to take more time on it and just kind of see what happens creatively. But also, I feel like it just benefits the project as a whole because you have more time to plan. But these guest features, JT's and Matt's, I think we acquired in March 2019, and Buka, I think it was in October or November 2019. We started talking, and she finally gave us the vocal about this time last year, strangely enough.
Oh.
And yeah, Brian's was his was like literally right before we had to turn the record in.
Oh wow.
So sometime in like July, he literally did it within 2 days. It was like the fastest thing ever.
Wow. Oh my God.
But it was super cool though. I think they somewhat record their own music or pre-pros. So he recorded his vocals with Chris, the guitarist of Currents.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea, like as a whole, for all these guest features is that I was just kind of looking at the cover, and I drew a sketch and I sent it to our artist. His name's Corey Swope. He's done all of our album art since the dawn of time. But the aura and the cover to me just kind of reminds me of like a different place or aura in like every city. And there's kind of other art panels like that for the vinyl, for the artwork of the album. So we wanted to get vocalists that were from all over the world to contribute on this, to make it more of like a cultural and dynamic experience. And hopefully it did some justice there, I guess, in that realm. I think it's really cool to listen to. And that's actually why we wanted to get Ken from Crossfaith at first, because he was from Japan. I believe JT and Brian are both from America.
Okay.
That's super cool. I mean, you kind of took half of my question, but
that's
like,
really cool.
Exactly, but that's
Sorry.
still really cool. No, it's okay. I'll just ask you the other half. Is there any meaning behind the album name?
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's funny. I when I first brought up this name to my brother, he was like, "That's dumb, dude."
Oh,
He was like, "That's a stupid title." I was like, "Okay,
Okay, whatever you
okay,
say.
is it?"
I hopefully
Mm.
assume he grew to love it.
Yeah, I think he's more fond of it now.
Okay,
But at the
good.
time, he's like, "I don't know about that." I was like, "Nah, man, I think it's pretty cool." And then I
Exactly,
just
yeah.
sort of, I think once he saw like the artwork for it, he was pretty convinced. But
Hmm.
yeah, I guess like the album to me is really the whole album is really about what drives people's desires, whether it's like money, fame,
Hmm.
relationships, like love, that sort of thing. And that's kind of what's being depicted on the front of the cover too. Like what are we really like drawn to? Like what draws us in and like keeps us going in life? And yeah, most of the themes on the album are just kind of about that in some way. And we kind of dig a little deep, like personally, for most of the lyrics on the album and stuff. And we haven't really done that before
Hmm.
in the past. We were sort of just like every album has a concept, but I don't think we've really talked about our personal lives as much as we have on this album.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Bloom is sort of about like long distance romance, and my brother's girlfriend lives in Missouri, and we live around here in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
So, and at the time, I wasn't living with my girlfriend, and she moved into an apartment without me, and that was like 15 minutes away from where I lived. So sort of like the same feeling. And it's kind of interesting writing lyrics like that with your brother,
Mhm.
and as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like a different take this time around.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Hmm. Excellent.
So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for the record?
I feel like this one, it's funny. I was thinking about this today. This one felt more like, I guess I'll use the word disjointed.
Okay.
We sort of wrote all these songs like separately from one another. Like our guitarist Jeff wrote, I think, like half of them, and then we had two other guitarists at the time, and they both wrote two songs each, just like the guitar mainly. So me and Nick had like all these instrumentals to listen to essentially, and I don't know, like for vocals, it sort of depends. We would just be in the same room coming up with song lyrics and melodies, like Poison, for instance.
Hmm.
That was one we sort of wrote the whole song together. Um, the chorus of that song I figured out in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's fast.
As soon as I had it, I was listening to it, and I had something for it like almost immediately.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really strange how those types of things work out. But
Hmm.
like Aquamarine was a song that Nick and I worked on together,
Hmm.
and also a song that we were still writing lyrics and melodies for on the way to the studio.
Are you serious?
So, oh
my
yeah,
God.
You guys were down to the wire on
we
everything.
Wow.
yeah. So I mean, for me, I was kind of going through some shit, I guess, like around that time. It sounds like some cliche, like metalcore vocalist thing, but
Oh.
but I really was, and I like some days I just feel like did not want to get up and work on this thing, and
Hmm.
we had like 2 weeks of time booked, and almost every day, when me and my brother were living together, he's like, "Dude, we gotta start working on this. We
Hmm.
have to go there tomorrow." Just I was like, "Ah, yeah, man, we'll figure it out." So some of the vocals and like melodies were figured out at the studio. I would just sit in a room and kind of figure out some of my parts. But
Yeah.
yeah, like for a song like Aquamarine, I remember we were sort of just writing the lyrics in my car while I was like driving to the studio. We would just play the instrumental in my car and just kind of vibe to it and stuff. So
Hmm.
Oh,
yeah, it
no.
depends. Sometimes we just work on stuff by ourselves in other rooms writing, and then we'll come together and work it out. Or sometimes we'll just work on it together from the beginning.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely interesting how down to the
Yeah.
wire you
Yeah.
guys were on every
Oh my
single part of this
God.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of it was, and some of it wasn't. We had Deja Vu, Bloom, and Poison. I think we recorded those like super early on, like in early 2019, and then we finished like the bulk of the album in October of 2019. Um, but like here and there are some parts like that. Like I feel like sometimes we perform good under pressure, and sometimes it just makes for like a good song in our case, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but traditionally, this one was kind of broken up more into segments, and I guess our guitarists just wanted like a chance to sort of like compose these instrumentals on their own and then sort of like hand it over to everybody else and do things that way. But instrumentally, like for the vocalists, we had these in like an adequate amount of time, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think more or less, you know, like we might have struggled maybe with some writer's block or something of that nature to really kind of get the stuff done. And I feel like I just wasn't emotionally like in the best state of mind at the time to kind of like really sit down and get this project figured out. But we did it.
You did.
Exactly. That's all
right.
that matters.
Yeah.
You did great. You did great.
Thank you.
So I know you guys were down to the wire with this album, and you said you were working on it for 2 years. So which song off of it took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Longest to write. I feel like we worked on Aquamarine, I think, for the reason why we kind of were doing that one last minute is because it was made very closely to us recording it in general.
Yeah.
But I feel like we had demos for Dissolve and Telephone for a while. Like we were sitting on Telephone for a couple of years maybe, and we felt like it didn't really fit Spirit Vessel, so we saved it for this album, thinking that it would be more like alternative or something like that. So yeah, I'd say probably like Telephone was like a song we were writing for a while and sitting on, and Dissolve, I feel like Blake and I kind of had that demo like really early on, and just recorded it, I guess, like as late as possible.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I don't know, you know, my favorite song kind of just sort of goes back and forth. I'd say my favorite song in the album is probably Bloom, because I feel like it represents the album the most in a sense of it being so dynamic. And like, to me, that just feels like the defining song of the album of what Mystic Chorus sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So where was your headspace at while you're writing this album?
Not where it should have been.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just like, I'm actually like 29 in a couple of weeks, and
happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
Thank you. St. Patrick's Day, terrible day to have a birthday on.
Oh my god.
Like, oh god.
Yeah. People
I'm
just
so
like
sorry.
It's like green everything. I mean, look at me wearing green today. So
green
yeah,
everything,
it's like
and no one remembers it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
like,
like
here's
green?
I do. I'm an Eagles fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
But, yo,
Ouch.
me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say what? Yeah. The team's not looking so good right now. But
oh no.
yeah, it's horrible. We can admit that, I think. You know.
Oh yeah.
But what was the question?
Headspace while writing the album.
My headspace. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, just being an adult and just like kind of doing this sort of, it's just sort of difficult sometimes. Like when we were sort of 17 and 18 years old doing this band, you know, it was more of like a time of innocence, and I feel like just a lot more fun in general. And just getting older, and when things become more serious, like a project like this in terms of its size, it sometimes it doesn't become as fun, and it's more of like about meeting deadlines or business related.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think for people that start bands and stuff, you know, they always think it's going to be just like a hobby or something for fun. And I mean, sometimes it is if that's what they want it to be, but you know, if they want it to go somewhere, you know, they're going to have to like sort of take it more seriously and just get involved in everything else that comes in that aspect of being in a band. And it's not really an easy thing. And I feel like sometimes it offers few rewards. And I don't know. I mean, you know, I think at that point in time, writing this album or starting to do it, I was already in it for about 9 years. So
yeah.
Just after touring, and you know, we have like 50, 60 some songs or something. And it sort of just kind of wears you down. And honestly, I think at the time I was just a little like burned out from it.
Mhm.
And I needed a break, honestly. And just knowing stuff that we had coming up, like the studio, we were going on tour for 3 weeks, like until right before Christmas was
Mhm.
just a little difficult to sort of take in. And like I was showing you guys my job earlier, I was sort of new here at the time as well.
Yeah.
So I just like learned a bunch of stuff and then came back and like instantly forgot everything I learned too.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just like a lot of different emotions at that time. And like my relationship wasn't good at the time or anything like that. And sort of my best friends were kind of just helping me get through that. And I don't know, I'm usually a happy person, and that's sort of the first time I've ever felt that way in my life, like really down and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I really thank my friends for getting me through that, and the band. And I guess in a way, Mystic Auras was kind of my therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm glad your friends were there, and also music. So it's good.
Yeah, I'm so glad music's there for everybody too. And
Yeah.
for me, that was kind of the first time I really saw that, I guess, like head on. I was like, wow, like I was listening to a lot of albums at the time and stuff too. And I guess I really do understand why music saves lives.
Yeah. And Mystic Auras can be that for somebody else now.
I hope so. If it helps. I've had people message me about that stuff before, like our past albums, and it's definitely humbling. And at the end of the day, like that's why I do this. Like I don't care about like anything like all press is going to share your video or something. Like I don't care about that stuff. Like I just want people to hear the music and really like it. And to me, that's what matters the most.
Yeah, that's very wholesome.
All press is washed up anyway, so.
Yo.
Am I wrong?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ruin their connections.
It's a really weird thing. It's just I feel like as time kind of goes further on with these publications and stuff, maybe part of the problem for them is that they've been covering like the same artists for like the last decade and stuff. So I mean, maybe on their part it's just bad business or something, and maybe just a lack of interest in other things that are going on. I don't know, but if I had to guess, probably something like that. Because if you look at magazines like Kerrang and stuff, they've been covering like the same bands for the last like 20 years.
Exactly.
And maybe it's time for somebody new to kind of pave the way and show people new music and new artists.
Yeah, maybe it's time to showcase all the upcoming talent instead of, I don't know,
Green Day for the 70th time.
Green Day or Water Parks for the 400th time.
Well, Water Parks is just it's better than Green Day in my opinion. So anyways.
It's weird because it's like, what, did Green Day ever play the Super Bowl? I don't remember, but it seems like they would have, or Blink-182 or something like that.
Yeah, I actually don't think they have.
Maybe they will now with the sports contract they have.
Oh God, you're right. Oh, 2022.
Oh, that's when they're doing it?
Oh no, I'm just saying like probably.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Jesus. Okay.
Hopefully not. Honestly.
Yeah, they'll be playing the Super Bowl. They had like the Who and all Rolling Stones and all those bands. So
it's about time.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Blink personally. I'd rather have Tom DeLonge make a couple of dick jokes up there.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
15 minutes out of penis jokes.
Maybe they should just come down in on a UFO or something like that.
Yo.
No, or come down on a massive penis. That can be their dick joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be cut immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would be so hilarious if they just did that to like get a reaction. They're like, guys, we gotta cut this. You're done.
It'd be a great way for him to return to the band as well.
Yeah. That, to me, I don't know. I don't like the new Blink-182.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways, the question.
Sorry, the question.
I love Blink. I love Blink. I I just can't get behind the I guess like the Skiba movement there. I don't know. It's not really like the same band.
Yeah, I
It's
get
Yeah.
that.
yeah, it's just not good.
We're
to put it the
we're
best
ruining
way.
your alt press connections, and you're ruining our possibility of interviewing Blink 5 years down the road.
Well, we've tweeted about them saying, "Oh my god, you suck" so many times. So we've already severed that. So it's fine.
I love all the stuff Travis Barker has been doing, by the
Mhm.
way. Like
Yes,
that
me too.
MGK, I fucked with that MGK album really
Mhm.
hard. Like that
Me
shit
too.
was good.
Me too. Glory
Yeah,
doesn't. I do.
I liked it.
I mean, I'm listening to
I-
Bloody
I-
Valentine, so I'm assuming it was a good album, but it's just I can't really like
Mm,
I was an MGK fan before it was released. Oh my god, that sounded
okay.
horrible. But I feel like my expectations were so much higher for it because he was like, I'm going pop
Mm.
punk and blah blah blah. I just feel like he barely like scratched the surface of it, in my opinion.
Maybe hopefully he'll do something better on the next one.
Hopefully.
He's
You know,
got
maybe
he's got it
uh,
going. Yeah, he's on
Mhm.
the top
yeah,
right
maybe
now.
maybe that was just the start, you know.
That was
Yeah.
the "Can I do this?" and people give a shit, and people are
Mhm.
certainly giving a shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, he hit his first number
Yeah.
one with it, so assuming people
that's
liked it.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
know,
Crazy.
right? Yeah. But the questions.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
your
yeah.
album.
Yeah,
Uh,
questions.
Yeah. So while listening through the album, what band or artist influences pop out the most to you, if any?
You mean like for Mystic Auras
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mystic Auras.
in general? I don't know, because sometimes like when I feel like when we get into these writing zones and stuff. I mean, for me, I can't really speak for the other guys or anything, but I don't really like to listen to music at the time, like at all. Maybe I feel like maybe this time I was listening to more music like right after I got done recording. I just remember like then Devil Wears Prada album came out, like Gideon, stuff like that. I remember listening to those albums a lot after we recorded, but nothing really sort of strikes a chord with me before sort of going to the studio and listening to that. Just in general, but the bands that I feel like, or like the spin, I guess, on this album that we sort of took influence from, just like in a more alternative direction, is the way I guess we wanted to go. And
Okay.
Spirit Vessel, our EP previously, was more tuned down. It was in F sharp, so we tuned up for this one again, just like we did on our last full length LP, Frigid Future. So that really helped us kind of move into that direction. And yeah, we just wanted to add more sort of synths and I guess more or less delayed guitars sounding sort of like U2 or Angels and Airwaves, like that really palm muted delayed type feel. And that's kind of all over the record. And I feel like that is kind of like the vibe that it had and what we were going for.
Oh,
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
fair.
So this question should be super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
In 3 words.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As fast as you can.
All right. Goes fucking hard.
Okay.
So true. So
Backed.
true.
Backed.
I gotta hype it up. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just gotta do my job.
Of course, yeah. So kind of in
Yeah.
the same vein of the last question, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this album to invoke in your listeners?
I guess at the end of the day, this one was sort of meant to relate to people more compared to
Mhm.
our previous releases. Spirit Vessel was like very political, and this one, I just want somebody to throw it on while they're driving at like 2 a.m. or something and just kind of really vibe out to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just like more the songs are like really emotional, especially like Telephone and Dissolve and Aquamarine is sort of like a just like a protest song
Mhm.
and talks about how money and greed is just kind of ruining our society, and we just live in that day in and out world instead of like checking up on our friends, like worrying about creative projects we're doing, and I feel like you just kind of get bumped out of reality there like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mystic Auras, I just want people to sort of feel a connection to it, I guess, and just vibe out.
Okay.
All right, vibe out.
So
Yeah.
where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
Ooh.
That's a scary question.
is.
We're gonna be like 33 or 4. And you know what? I guess I have really thought about this lately because now that we're done, it's like people have been asking, especially in interviews and stuff like this. They're like, okay, well, what's next? I don't know, but we do have some studio time booked in May to record 2 songs. So
Okay.
yeah, I guess recently we actually just Billboard charted for the first time ever. And we made 5
Congrats.
So
charts.
true.
Thank you.
That's
I was
amazing.
like blown away by it. So I guess now we have to make another one.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
kind of what that's what we're going for. We were just like, well, I guess if that did well, we gotta keep picking up steam and come out with something else. And
Exactly.
we already sort of have like an idea for artwork and a name for the release and stuff like that.
Okay.
And sort of like a new sound and direction. So yeah, hopefully we can put that out like maybe sometime like later next year. I can't really say for sure or anything, but definitely sometime within the next 5 years we'll be putting out like another release, whether it's an EP or LP.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to that. Congratulations again. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're famous now.
Definitely stoked.
As you should be.
I don't know about that.
No?
Yeah, I feel like just for me doing this, it's like coming on 11 years, like for this band specifically,
Yeah.
makes me kind of feel like it was all for nothing. Or sorry, it was just like it wasn't all for nothing type of thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it means something to me.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah, it's really late at night. I've been up forever, but
It's all good.
You're good.
yeah, I don't know. It's just a very, very like humbling thing. And I think everybody in the band is kind of really stoked about it and looking forward to what we can do next and seeing what we're capable of.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. All right. So for the last couple
Stay
questions.
metal.
Oh, so
Yeah.
true. For the last couple questions, we're
Mhm.
actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sick. So we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Boom.
Last meal.
With a drink.
Alcoholic drink.
Sure. It's up to you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with probably sushi.
Okay.
Probably
Taste.
sushi. I don't care what kind it is. If I'm on death row, just not a California roll. Something better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just something more intricate than that.
Exactly. It's so basic.
Yeah, but as a drink, I don't know, like some really strong wine or like, probably like Jameson and Diet Coke.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably
Solid.
probably something to that aspect. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world, probably I don't know, like Dragon Ball.
All right. It's a good choice.
Probably Dragon Ball. Yeah, I mean those capsule corp things really cool when they throw them and
Yeah.
like a car explodes out of nowhere and you can drive it. Like,
Easy.
give me that technology now.
Yeah. Great choice. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
I feel like that kind of fluctuates.
Okay.
Maybe because it's March, green.
Okay, yeah.
But I'd
Happy
say
birthday,
I'd say honestly, thank you. Probably like this color gray, maybe, or
Okay.
like heather gray. I think is like my favorite
Ooh.
color,
Yeah.
apart from green. So
All right.
Solid colors.
yeah.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yes, go check out our new album Mystic Auras. It just dropped February 19th on We Are Triumphant. And if you can pick up a physical copy, stream it online, download it, or just share it to your friends online or text, whatever. Just listen to it. We spent a long time making it, and I think it would just make us happy if people just check it out.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, well, thank you for sitting out. This has been Al from Scent Like Wolves and Really Good Noise podcast.